There's a strange myth we've been sold about aging, that once you turn 65 or 70, your body starts shutting down. That it's normal to feel tired all the time, forget things constantly, and slowly fade into a version of yourself you barely recognize. But what if that's not entirely true? What if there are people, quietly, without much noise, who are thriving at 70, who still walk with purpose, still laugh loudly, still wake up without needing 5 pills just to start the day? And what if those people have one thing in common? It's not their money. It's not their genes. It's not even their diet or workout routine. It's something much simpler, something most people don't notice. But scientists are starting to pay attention. Because this one ability, this simple physical test, might say more about your longevity than your blood pressure, cholesterol, or even weight. And the best part? You don't need a lab to check it. You don't need fancy equipment. You can test it right now, wherever you're sitting. But before we get to that, let's talk about something more important. You who have lived through wars, grief, love, heartbreak, raising children, losing friends, changing careers, and are still here. You who may have been told that slowing down is inevitable, that stiffness is your new normal, that foggy thinking is just part of getting old. But what if I told you that your body still holds more potential than you think, that you are not behind, that your muscles, your lungs, your brain are still listening to how you treat them every single day, and they respond, quietly, but powerfully? Here's the truth. Your health isn't just measured in lab results. It's measured in movement, in recovery, in resilience. And today, I want to show you 5 small, physical things. If you can still do even just 1 or 2 of them, you're not just doing okay for your age. You're exceptional. You're rare. You're one of the few. A quiet gem in a loud world, still alive, still strong, still going. This isn't about fear. This isn't about pressure. It's about awareness. About honoring what your body can do, not mourning what it can't. Because after all these years, you deserve to feel proud of yourself. To look at the mirror, not for wrinkles or gray hair, but for signs of life. So today we begin a different kind of checkup. One that doesn't ask you to be perfect, only to notice what still works, to notice what still moves, to notice the quiet miracles that happen every morning when you rise, breathe, and take that first step. You don't need to be young again. You just need to remember, you're still here, and that means something. Sign number 1, standing up from a chair without using your hands. Let's try something. Find a sturdy chair. Sit in it, comfortably, as you would normally. Place both feet flat on the floor, about shoulder width apart. Rest your hands on your lap. Now, without pushing off with your hands, can you stand up, slowly, steadily, without wobbling? No rushing, no leaning forward like you're launching a rocket. Just a smooth, controlled rise. If you can do that, you've just passed one of the most powerful predictors of physical independence after 70. Here's why it matters. As we age, we lose muscle mass, especially in the legs. It's called sarcopenia, and it starts as early as your 40s. By the time we're 70 or 75, some people have lost up to 30 to 50% of their muscle strength without even noticing. Why does this matter? Because your legs are your foundation. They keep you mobile. They support your spine. They help you avoid falls. And falls, as you know, are no small thing at this age. A single fall can change the course of your life, break a hip, steal your confidence, keep you from doing the things you love. But it's not just about strength. It's also about balance, coordination, neuromuscular control. When you stand up from a chair without using your hands, your brain, your spine, your core, your quads, your glutes, they all have to work together in perfect harmony. It's a symphony of survival. And if you can still do it, you're not just lucky, you're functional, you're resilient. In fact, one long-term study showed that people over 70 who could do this without assistance had a significantly lower risk of falling hospitalization, cognitive decline, and even early death. Let me repeat that. Standing up without using your hands equals longer life, better brain, better body. It's that powerful. And here's the good news. If you can't do it yet, that doesn't mean it's over. It means now is the time to start training. Not by doing burpees or squats at the gym, but by practicing this one simple move every day. Sit, pause, breathe, stand, slowly, controlled, no hands. Even if you start by using one hand or both, that's okay. What matters is the intention. You're telling your body, I still want this, I still need this, I'm not done. And your body listens. It adapts. It rebuilds. More slowly than before, yes, but just as faithfully. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep trying. And the next time you stand up from your chair without thinking about it, without grabbing the armrest, without pushing off your thighs, I want you to smile. Because that small act, it's not small at all. It's strength. It's grace. It's a quiet miracle. And it means you're still living well. Not just surviving. Living. Sign number 2. Walking 10 to 15 minutes without pain or losing your breath. No fancy equipment. No stopwatch. No competition. Just a walk. 10 to 15 minutes. At your own pace. Steady. Breathing naturally. No pain in the knees. No tightness in the chest. No feeling like you need to sit down halfway through. If you can do that, you're doing something that millions of people your age can't. And more than that, you're giving your body one of the most powerful daily signals that says, I am still capable. I am still alive. Let me explain. Walking may seem simple, ordinary, automatic, but in reality, it's one of the most sophisticated movements your body performs. It requires coordination between your brain, eyes, and muscles, balance from your core and inner ears, strength from your hips, thighs, calves, flexibility in your joints, and healthy blood flow from your heart and lungs. When you can walk for 10 to 15 minutes without stopping, you're proving that all of these systems, neurological, muscular, respiratory, cardiovascular, are still working together, still functioning, still holding you up. And that's a big deal. In fact, doctors now say walking speed is one of the most powerful predictors of longevity. Yes, your walking pace can often tell more about your overall health than your blood test. In one large study, researchers followed older adults over several years and found this. For every 0.1 meter per second faster someone walked, their risk of death decreased by 12%. Why? Because walking is movement, and movement is medicine. It keeps your joints lubricated, your blood flowing, your lungs expanded, your mind alert. People who walk daily report better sleep, less joint stiffness, lower blood pressure, stronger bones, fewer feelings of depression or anxiety, and sharper memory. But here's the hidden benefit: confidence. When you can walk freely, unassisted, with your own rhythm, you feel more in control. You're more likely to go out, see friends, enjoy nature. You're less likely to isolate or stay sedentary. You're more likely to live fully. And if you can't do 10 to 15 minutes yet, start small. Walk to your mailbox. Walk around your living room. Walk in circles in your kitchen during commercials. Add 1 minute each day. This isn't about proving anything, it's about preserving freedom. Because the moment walking becomes hard, everything else shrinks too. Your routine, your social life, your independence. So protect your steps. Honor your pace. Don't race. Just move. And when you return from your walk, whether 5 minutes or 15, pause. Put your hand on your heart. Feel the beat. Feel the breath. Feel the blessing. Because every step you take is not just exercise. It's a quiet promise to yourself. I'm not done moving yet. Sign number 3. You can bend down to tie your shoes without losing balance or getting dizzy. It's something we all do without thinking. You drop something on the floor. You lean forward. You bend your knees. You reach down to pick it up, or you crouch to tie your shoelaces. But here's the truth. After age 70, this simple motion, bending down and standing back up, is no longer simple for many people. And if you can still do it, smoothly, safely, and without holding onto a chair or feeling lightheaded, you're in rare company. Because this one motion involves far more than just flexibility. It requires joint mobility in the knees, hips, and ankles, balance and spatial awareness to stay upright while leaning forward, stable blood pressure regulation so your brain still gets oxygen as you change posture, leg strength to carry you back up, and surprisingly, core control to stabilize your spine. That's a lot of systems working together, and most people never notice they're failing until it's too late. They feel dizzy when they get up. They lose their footing. They hesitate to pick something up from the floor. They avoid tying their own shoes. Not because they're lazy, but because their body doesn't feel safe doing it anymore. Now, let's be clear. It's not about how fast or how deep you can go. It's about control, grace, awareness. It's about whether you can lean forward without tipping over, whether you can return to standing without wobbling or swaying, whether your body still trusts itself to move between levels. In the world of physical therapy, this is called transitional movement, and it's a major predictor of fall risk. Falls, again, are the #1 threat to independence in older adults. One fall can lead to broken bones, fear, isolation, even hospitalization. But if you can still tie your shoes without sitting down, that's not just convenient, that's powerful. It means your vestibular system, your body's internal balance tracker, is still sharp. It means your spine and hips still move in harmony. It means you're not losing touch with the ground beneath you. And here's something beautiful. The more you practice this motion, gently, mindfully, daily, the more your body will remember how to keep doing it. So here's a simple way to reinforce it. Each morning, before breakfast, drop a sock or a towel on the floor. Practice bending down, not to grab it quickly, but to feel your body as you lower and rise. Breathe, engage your core, hold on to something nearby if needed. This isn't about proving strength, it's about preserving trust between you and your body. Because when you trust that you can reach down and come back up, you don't just protect your safety, you reclaim a piece of your freedom. And freedom, at any age, starts with movement. So the next time you bend to tie your shoes, or pick up the remote that fell, or kneel in the garden for a few minutes, smile. You're not lucky, you're still living well. Sign number 4. You can remember 3 tasks, 3 names, and 3 numbers without writing them down. Memory is a tender thing. We joke about senior moments, forgetting why we walked into a room, misplacing our glasses, calling someone by the wrong name, and for many, it becomes something heavier. The fear that maybe it's beginning, the slow fade, the decline no one wants to talk about. But memory doesn't disappear all at once. And it doesn't vanish simply because we get older. In fact, some parts of the brain, especially those tied to long-term wisdom, emotional processing, and language, can sharpen with age. So here's something simple. Each morning, can you recall these 3 things, without checking a note? 3 things you plan to do today. 3 names of people you recently spoke to or care about. 3 numbers, maybe phone digits, birthdays, or even your grocery list. If you can do that, you're not just holding on. You're mentally agile. You're staying connected. Because this isn't about memorizing textbooks or doing math in your head. It's about functional memory, the kind that keeps your life running. Remembering to take medicine, calling your daughter at the right time, knowing how much to pay the plumber, recalling where you parked the car, keeping your independence quietly and powerfully. Let me tell you what makes this so meaningful. These 3 by 3 inches items activate 3 parts of the brain at once. Executive function for planning tasks, emotional memory for names and relationships, working memory for numbers. You're literally exercising your brain like a muscle. And like any muscle, the more you use it, the more it stays strong. Here's a trick to practice. Each morning, when you wake up and sip your water, ask yourself, what are 3 small things I want to get done today? Who are 3 people I want to stay connected to or remember today? What are 3 numbers I can hold in mind for fun? Say them out loud. Repeat them once. Check them again before bed. This takes 60 seconds, but it creates mental momentum. And if you forget one, that's okay. It's not a test. It's a tune-up. It's a way to say, I'm still here. I'm still thinking. I'm still building new connections. And trust me, the brain never stops responding to how we treat it. You don't need crossword puzzles or brain apps. You just need meaningful engagement. things that tie memory to emotion, to routine, to relevance. So when you wake up tomorrow, don't ask, what am I forgetting today? Ask, what am I choosing to remember? Because that choice alone, to stay engaged with your world, is a sign of long life. And more than that, it's a sign of rich life. You're not just living longer. You're living deeper. Let's pause. You've just walked through 4 small signs. Simple actions, really. No fancy scans. No scary diagnoses. Just you and your body and what it can still do. And now maybe, just maybe, you're realizing something important. That age doesn't define ability. That decline is not destiny. That you are still capable. Not perfect, not flawless, but capable in ways that matter most. Because what these signs truly point to isn't just longevity. It's presence. It's resilience. It's a quiet, grounded strength that often goes unseen. We live in a world that praises youth, fast legs, flat stomachs, sharp minds. But we forget. There's a different kind of beauty in those who keep going, who stay curious, who show up, softly, steadily, day after day. You are not here by accident. You have loved and lost. You have been brave and broken. You have carried grief in silence. You have laughed at things that used to terrify you. You have learned to say no without guilt. You have chosen peace over performance. And somehow, through all of that, your body still shows up for you. Every morning, every breath, every step, every quiet strength you thought no one noticed. But I notice. And maybe now, you do too. So let's ask the question again. Can you still do this? Can you stand up without your hands? Can you walk without fear? Can you bend without wobbling? Can you remember what matters? If you said yes to even one, you are not just surviving. You are still thriving. And that is rare, and precious, and worthy of celebration. Because growing older is not the end of vitality, it is the deepening of it. It's the moment when you stop living for approval and start living from awareness. It's when you stop rushing and start savoring. It's when you realize that the small daily choices to move, to breathe, to smile, to try again even when it's slow, are the very choices that lead you to 80, to 90, maybe even to 100. Not because you chased time, but because you honored it. So tomorrow morning, when you rise from bed, don't ask yourself, what am I losing with age? Ask, what am I learning? And listen, because your body is still speaking, and your story is still unfolding. You are rare, you are remarkable, you are still becoming. And if that isn't proof of life, I don't know what is.